Why, yes. A very fine contraption indeed. Oh, bloody hells! You've returned. But how? I watched you die. Umak, destroyer of worlds. I can't believe this. There's not much time left, and the Doomhounds approach. And you have so much yet to learn. But if you're anything like your father, and I have to say, you're a spitting image of him, then you'll be the next great dropshipper, the next great e-commerce entrepreneur, as you finally bring peace to the realms. Now, we must make haste as the Doomcrawlers approach, so I will have to be your guide, whether you like it or not, but you can call me Ethan of Dobbins. Yes, an NPC, a fellow common man, but I know that was a little bit cringy, especially if you're over the age of 8 years old. I definitely found out that people that are older, typically in the 40 plus range, they don't really like when I do funny intros, but I really want to just say thank you for joining E-Commerce Evolution. I'm incredibly excited to be teaching you and trying to make this course as digestible as possible, because when I was planning this out, I am pretty ADHD. You might be able to pick that up after you watch this course, but with this course, I want to keep the videos as short as possible, have great editing, and there will always be resources and time markers. If you do go below this video, go below this video right now. I'm watching you, just so that you can see what are the major points of the video and also the resources that you can take from that video that you should apply directly after watching it. Because I really do believe you should not watch a course one time through and then start applying. You should watch a video and then apply it immediately while it's still fresh on your mind. Otherwise, you're just going to forget it and it's just a lost cause. And of course, I would also recommend either having a notepad or a Word doc where you can take notes throughout the entire time so that you can at least refer back to what you have learned. Now, let's get into product research criteria. So when I evaluate a product, these are the major things that I look for. First off, I like products to appear high quality, that they're not some cheap Chinese handmade thing. And obviously, this is a very objective type of metric. So it might not be the best thing for you to learn initially, but if you're more advanced, I think you can get the feel of when you go to a Walmart or a dollar store, or for your Europeans, I mean, I don't really know what you guys have, but when you see something that's cheap, you can tell. Now, if you go through on my list, the next couple things, and I would say this is the very, very key one, the product must have proven demand or sales volume. Now, you can tell this in a variety of different ways. When you discover a product, does it have a lot of engagement on the ad that you found it on? Or when you go to Amazon and look at that product, are there a lot of sales volume by using tools like, I'll just show you real quick, this tool right here, Jungle Scout. It'll tell you the monthly sales volume. And we'll talk about that tool a little bit later on, but when we go to the other criteria, the product isn't generic or too saturated. So generic products typically are phone cases. It's stuff that you can find anywhere at the mall or just at a local dollar store. Again, very similar. If you can find it everywhere, it's not the greatest thing to build a brand around, because then there's so many alternatives to that product. Now, other things, does it solve a problem or create a desire? So for most problem-solving products like glasses, they help you see better, etc., that is a problem-solving product. And then you got some products that create a desire, like clothing, like jewelry. So a product needs to either solve one of those two purposes, or it just really doesn't make sense to solve. So when you look at a product and you're like, I really don't understand why anyone would buy this, probably shouldn't sell it. Now, it's up to you if you want to follow this criteria right here, but personally, because I advertise a lot on TikTok, I like products that appeal to a younger demographic, because obviously on TikTok, the majority is ADHD teenagers that are like Japanese girls that are obsessed with the app and definitely like buying things that are very impulse related. Now, I also like products that just appeal to pretty much everyone. You can just take a few examples like with Cozy slippers, those Piranha slippers, etc. Those are products that pretty much anyone could ever buy. So I do like types of products like that. And then the other really important thing is you have to make sure the product has margin. It has to have a margin in my eyes of at least $20 to $25 because of advertising costs. When you do product on Facebook or TikTok, it will cost you money. You'll most likely be spending about $100 a day. And typical CPAs for any product are around $10, $20, $30. It depends obviously on the price of the product you're selling, but I would say the golden range of the price for a product you should sell on TikTok or Facebook is around $20 to $70, because that is still in the impulse range where when someone sees it one time, they can make that decision of buying it without it really affecting them, without them really having to think about the price too much. But when it's obviously something that's $80 or $100 or $150, you have to do a little bit of a double take. You have to really think in your head, is this something that I need? So you have to obviously look the product up on Amazon and Google Ads to see, all right, what's the typical price people are paying for a water bottle like this? And if the margins make sense, awesome. And you also got to keep in mind, is this something that we can bundle? Will people buy more than one of this? Because if that's the case, then we could sell it for a little bit lower. Maybe the margin of selling one of them is only $15. We only make $15 in profit. But if we sell two of them and have a good BOGO offer or a good buy one, get one 50% off
offer, then we can increase the margins. So you got to keep these all in mind, but let's actually get into reviewing some products. So this is just a random batch of products. I just clicked it right here from one of my product researchers, and we'll talk about how to build a product research team a little bit later. Don't get too ahead of yourself, Tiger, but let's actually review. So real quick, first product, we got clothing. Now, I personally don't like clothing too much because there's a lot of returns and it's just a lot of headaches, because the average return rate is about 30% compared to with other products, it might be 2%. So personally, I would avoid something like this. And when we look at the sales volume, nothing shows up, which means they're not making a lot of sales, at least with Jungle Scout. Now, this product right here, $1,000 in sales volume. That is not a lot. I personally like to see a product getting at least $50,000 a month with its top seller. And if we scroll down here, what do we got? Key headphone case for AirPods. Yeah, this is a very cheap product. It's selling for $10. It's a keychain. There's no margin. There's not a lot of sales. That's a no. All right, so let's get into the next product right here. So, okay, $12,000 in monthly revenue. That's decent. It kind of gets my attention, but it is a little bit low. $7 price point. All right, automatic 0. Now, there is definitely something to keep in mind that when you look at prices on Amazon, those are typically very cheap. And when you build a brand around a product, you can typically charge $10 more, $15 more. In this case, you could probably charge 2 to 3x more than Amazon. And you might be saying, that sounds absolutely preposterous. Why would someone pay $20 on my website for this product? Well, it's because you're going to learn how to build a brand through e-commerce evolution. And when you learn how to build a brand, people will perceive your brand as the only place where they can buy a product like this. So they won't even go onto Amazon and price check in a lot of cases. And also a big part of dropshipping is convenience. When you've already showed people an ad and they're on your website, they're already there. So just out of the sake of convenience, they will pay more money. And that's something that you will notice a lot of times. If I'm at a football game, yeah, I don't want to pay $6 for water, but it's the convenience. That's the only thing around to me. But yeah, we'll have to say no to that one. Now, this product right here, let's see what we got here. $5,000 in revenue isn't too shabby. $60, so the margin might be there. This is something that I would definitely be interested in looking more into because it solves a problem. Now, I also want to make sure that it has good reviews. That's definitely something I left out of the research criteria. But when you look at reviews, if people are saying this doesn't work, this product is defunct, then I would not recommend selling it. There's no point in wasting it because you might make a lot of sales, but you're going to get a lot of returns as well. So going down here, did not work for us, not comfortable, too stiff. So when I read stuff like this as the top reviews, I would say that definitely makes me a little bit concerned. Let me see over here, wrong side of the bed, nice quality, really soft. So there's a mix. There's definitely a mix. I would say 3.4 out of 5 is all right. I typically would like this number to be at least 3.9, 4.0 if I really was considering selling it. Plus the margins are a little low. So maybe if we go to another seller of this product, we'll have the right numbers. I'm not sure. Personally, I'm going to avoid it. I don't think it's worth the hassle. So we're going to move on to the next one right here. And we got, okay, some slippers. So this is for a huge audience. Let's look at the numbers. 223,000. Oof. Now we're talking, baby girl. All right, let's get into it. So with these cozy slippers, in terms of reviews, 4.5 out of 5. Awesome. Love to see that. Price $22. If we build a brand around these, I'm sure we could sell these for $29, $34. Get a good supplier on these. I really do believe this could work, but we got proven sales volume. Does it look super high quality? I mean, it's a cozy slipper. Slippers don't really look super high quality in general. It has proven demand. It's not too generic. I have not seen a slipper with that kind of design. Now, there are definitely generic slippers that do make a lot of sales, which I would avoid selling. You want ones with some cool designs, and I would say that one is pretty cool. And it creates a desire. It's for definitely a huge audience, I would say. Margin is definitely there. So 100%, this is a product that I would sell. And then finally, we got the dancing cactus. I'm sure you guys have seen this. So as we go right here, 165,000 in revenue. Yeah, that is absolutely solid. $19 is a very low price point, and that makes me a little bit concerned about margin because you might have something that, yes, does a lot in sales, does 300,000, 500,000, is a gargantuan number, but the margin just doesn't make sense for you as someone who's going to advertise that product. It only would make sense if you're just doing organic traffic, which, hey, that might be something you're interested in. But for me, I like ads. They're more consistent. They're more scalable in my eyes. So I would say, could we sell this product ideally for a little bit more? I see a listing for 23 that's got a lot of sales. I could definitely see this being sold for $29.99. If we can get a good supplier for $4 or $5, yes, it would make sense. But this would be something where I say yes right now, but it would really depend on what I'm getting back for quotes of the price from my supplier. And then obviously look at the reviews, 4.2 out of 5, looks really, really solid. So yeah, this is just a great example of the research criteria. And I'll definitely add on to this that yes, those reviews do matter too. You want to make sure the product works, people are happy with it, there is proven sales demand. Those are the major things because you don't want it to feel very ambiguous and rely too much on your gut feeling. I know I've made that mistake where I'm like, yes, it's gonna have wow factor, but something that has a wow factor for me could have a different wow factor for somebody else. And there might be a product that's making a lot of sales and I think it's incredibly boring, but it's not made for me. It's made for a specific target audience. It might be a product that's for females. And I'm like, yeah, that product's kind of boring. But when a female sees that, they're like, yeah, this product's amazing. So I'm a big fan of leaving emotion out of it and just looking at the cold hard facts. Does it have great reviews? Does it have proven sales track record? And are the margins there? Those are all things that are pretty much non-debatable. So that's how I evaluate products.